rob London Irish this weekend, and you know from last season how tough a side they can be on their day.
Yeah, I mean, the players are aware. We probably felt frustrated with the way we lost the game up at London Irish, but I thought fair play to London Irish, and I couldn't complain with the result on the day. I thought they played well, and we possibly didn't show the qualities we needed to hold them at bay. You know, they scored some good tries. They kind of came at us very hard at times, and ultimately they didn't have to win the game, so I've got no complaints about that. Obviously what we have to do is show a much better performance than that here at home, which I'm expecting we will do. We've had a good pre-season. We had a pretty good performance last week at Bath without kind of getting ourselves over the line and forcing the result. But we are a good team at home. We have built the foundation of some good seasons by our quality of our home performances, and that's what we've got to look to build again.
When you look at last week's performance, you say there was a lot of positives. I imagine you take just that last little bit of accuracy, clinical edge. Is that something you spoke about?
Well, I mean, the bigger picture, you know, if you talk about yourself aiming to be one of the top sides in the Premiership, you know, if you look historically, there's some real ding-dong battles home and away amongst those top teams in the Premiership, and often games will go one way or the other by one score, and it certainly shouldn't define your season. You know, it really shouldn't. So that's what the way we've got to look at it. You know, to be within one score of Bath away from home is our best Premiership performance there by far. We've picked up the losing bonus point, so we're not disappointed with our overall performance. We're disappointed with one or two areas, because at the end of the day, to create as many opportunities as we did without forcing any home, and then to lose by only 2 points, you know, you've got to be frustrated by that. But you've got to be frustrated in the right way. You've got to make sure you see the game for what it was. And I said as players, we've got to see it for what it was and not worse than it was. You know, and the truth is, most of what we did was good, because if most of what we did wasn't good, we wouldn't have been anywhere near Bath. So, you know, those facts add up. But what we do have to do is, if we play well enough to get that close, we've got to be that little bit more tough, that little bit more clinical. And as I said, we've only really focused on 2 or 3 areas this week from the Bath game. One of them's around the scrum, one around our driving play, and one a little bit around some decision making in certain areas of the pitch. But that's 3 elements that we've had a good focus on. I think we've dealt with very well, and they're going to be important elements this week. So, you know, I think in a lot of ways it was nice to come out of the Bath game knowing that we had just 2 or 3 things to focus on.
You talk about making this place a fortress and a real stronghold for the season. To do that, you've got to get the crowd on board, and you often talk about making sure you play well enough to keep them entertained.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, I think you should never assume or expect that you're just going to have support and that people are just going to be there for you, because, you know, once you take it for granted, it disappears. So we talk a lot about making sure that I want every ex-Chief supporter to look onto the pitch on Saturday and know that the players really care, and that they really want to play well, you know, for the team and for themselves and for their friends around them, and that they really want to show to the supporters that, you know, we know that they're paying a lot of money to go and watch us, and so we want to make sure we play in a way that you know, gives not necessarily value for money, but gives them something to get behind, and something to support, and something that's real. You know, for me, you know, sport's got to be real. I think we do that really well. I think we do it very well away from home. I think we do it well at home, but I think particularly at Sandy Park, you know, we can keep it, you know, we make it look real. You know, that we really care. And those are important qualities for me. I think when we get that right across the board, we're a very, very tough team to beat. But I think also, you know, your supporters will always stay with you whether you win or lose, because we're showing them that it's very, very important to us, and that, you know, if we lose hard. If we win, we enjoy it and we celebrate with the supporters.
Wales bowing out last week means you've got your full complement of the squad back now, and lots more options for you again moving into this game. Yeah,
obviously, and it's great to have quality players coming back. They're up to speed very quickly. Even Tom Francis coming back has got up to speed very quickly this week. Jeff Parling now is pretty much there. You know, within a space. I mean, to be fair to Jeff, he's come in on and off on his days off away from the England camp anyway when he's been back in Exeter. So he's started to do little bits and pieces, and, you know, he's a very switched on guy, so he's starting to learn the processes of everything here very quickly. He's now had 2 full training weeks, so he's very much up to speed. Josh Jones, to be fair to him, I think he's picking things up very quickly, you know, to be honest, quicker than I thought he would, and he's training very well. So it's going to be great to see him get a game of rugby somewhere at some stage as quickly as we can. But no, I think all our guys have settled in really well, and I'm really looking forward to this weekend to kind of unleash them here at Sandy Park.
You would have done your homework on Irish, especially from pre-season and their game last week against Tigers. They've got a new coach. Are they a different side to last year?
Well, I almost think the strength of what London Irish got there is that they haven't had too many changes. You know, everyone knows I'm a big believer in continuity and working to improve the players you've got and working to improve them gelling together as a side. So although they've had some players come in, when you look at the team sheet, there are some players there who are starting to establish themselves as regular London Irish players, and I think that's almost the biggest improvement you'll get to start with, is that they've had time together. Obviously it's early days for the new coaching staff, and you know, they'll have wanted some serious games of rugby, which when you talk about serious games of rugby is when you get back in the Premiership action. So it'll take a little bit of time to see some really new ideas, but you know, we've been quite impressed with some of the qualities they've shown, and that's good, because that means, you know, we're going to have to be prepared to work very hard to win the game.